Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. Well, we've tried doing this before on other videos, and this is the one we're going to put it to the test to. My name is Tim.
I'm Greg.
Um, we didn't do anything Halloweeny today. We just went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was just one of those days that either something bad happened with the lug nuts, or just it just didn't feel like Halloween. But let's get on to man,
Oh,
turn it down. So guys, Halloween marathon in the background, Resurrection, nobody likes that fucking movie. But all right, so on to what really matters. Um we've been thinking about topics, we do deep talks and we try to see what we can help each other with. We try to help each other explain society and explain life, and how you look or how you act can either destroy or help you in life. A prime example would be Gabby Pescio. I can't say her last name.
yeah, something like that.
Petio.
Yeah,
The one that Brian Laundrie killed last year. I remember a bunch of people saying, "Oh, he was ugly, this, or this," and that, "Oh, she was so gorgeous, so talented. Um, she was abused, she was manipulated." And I'm not denying any of that. That could be the case. Yes, he obviously was a monster. He killed her. He had it planned out. He knew what he was going to do. So therefore, he deserves no sympathy whatsoever. And yeah, that's obvious. But um, when they said he was lucky to get her, I completely agree. The comments that are like, "Oh, he's lucky to get her. He's lucky to even be in the same room with her." Well, yeah, I agree. It's not just because she's the golden blonde that people want or that she was super nice. It was the whole package. Like, you wonder why people throw things away when you see all these dudes treat these girls like shit, and then the girls do not want the guys that are actually want to be with them. I don't want to say nice guy because that's a dude that just wants sex, but I mean someone who would actually take care of them, actually wants to be with them, and they just think those dudes are boring or ugly, or they want the higher dude, the high value male. And people disagree with that, but if you actually look at the evidence and facts that are out there, they're always going to want the taller dude. They're always going to want the better looking guy. Of course, there's exceptions. There's always exceptions. Gabby's relationship was an exception. She could have got someone way better, but she seemed really nice. Um, and that was probably her downfall. He probably exploited that. Um, but something I experienced in my own life. It's something Greg's experienced in his life. Back when I was skinnier, people treated me better. They were nicer. They treated me better. It helped a little bit more with girls, not so much because I was never buff, but I wasn't as fat. It was before I started smoking. I had more confidence. Um, and then, as I got older and more, let myself go and stopped going to the gym, people started judging me more, treating me more like shit. Uh, it became harder to get dates. No matter how great of a person you were, it wasn't good enough. And people treat you like shit, but then you notice they treat the hotter people better. They get more privilege. It's not creepy if it's a hot person doing it, girl or boy. And you learn, even though they can live terrible lives, of course, even worse than an ugly person's, the pretty person will always have the easier life when it comes to a lot of topics that are important. Love, better job promotion, better impression on people, more dominant presence in the area. Everybody will notice you. Everybody will want to be your friend or date you or at least fuck you. You'll be invited to parties more. You'll be invited to have friends that will actually want to stick around. But there are downsides to being pretty or handsome, from what I've heard. And that is you don't know who to trust. They could be either really nice or they could be using you to fuck you over and fuck with you or just to fuck you. They could be mentally ill and again using you for what you have. You don't know if someone actually loves you for you instead of your body or what you can bring them. An ugly person, if they are loved and treated good, they will be knowing that it's for real. This lifestyle that people talk about, it's called being a doomer. Like the Great Oreo Man or um, I forgot what the other guy's name was. There's a lot of doomer channels out there. They call it the Black Pill Doomer. Doomer is where you don't hate female nature or females for how they act. It's just how they are. You understand that life's not fair and some things you can't change and some things you have to accept, even if it sucks being alone. You're not going to be miserable to girls or treat them with sexism or act like you're entitled to it because you're not. Nobody is. But you also recognize how it really is and why certain men do get access easier than others. Some girls settle for guys and make them work just for a little bit of sex and a little bit of love. And then she'll give some dude like the whole fucking time and he won't even look twice at her. A lot of humans do it. It's not like it's just girls, guys do it too. But the thing that I noticed is guys are willing to settle for uglier people while girls usually will not. And if they do it half heartedly or they at least still get something out of it, especially money. A lot of guys don't care what your education status is, who you went to school with, who you knew, who you know. If you're poor or not, they just want to love you. But tell a girl you're poor. Tell a girl a lot of things about you, and she will not make you a better man or a richer man. Well, a guy will do that for a girl. A lot of hypergamy is that a girl wants to settle for the best genes and the best possible man that she can find if she wants children. And a lot of girls cheat and monkey branch to the better guy when it's found, a better option. And they keep backups around. I've seen that too. Until they can figure out what they actually want. I find cheating of any kind disgusting. And it can be a very lonely lifestyle for a lot of people. They call it doomer, forever alone. They just try to tell their experiences without being called incels or shut down and being called sexist, even if it's not actually sexist. They're just trying to tell their life experiences, and people want to shut them down. They want to act like they don't exist. They want to act like any guy who's not good with girls or really talks to them that much outside of work or maybe friendly purposes. They just want to call that dude a creep, a weirdo. Not everybody's good at dating. Not everybody's good at thriving in social situations or interactions. It's not always going to be what you want it to be. Sometimes you got to suck it up, roll the dice, and work or distract yourself with something else that you might have to come to the realization that you might not have time for anymore to fix what might be wrong, or the money, or just you give up because you'd rather give up than settle. You'd rather do 100 different things than keep trying, because like the great Oreo man once says, if you keep trying and get the same result, it's insanity. Sometimes in life you gotta just realize you're fucked up. The dice aren't gonna roll for you that way. You've been dealt a shitty hand. You've lived a fucked up life. You done fucked up. Sometimes in life you have to give up, and that's just what it is. Why don't you talk, Greg? Actually give some of your experiences. So they actually know. How can you relate, Greg? What's your fucking take?
Well, when I was young, I moved around a lot, and one of the big things I encountered with girls was trying to fit in. The one thing that a lot of girls did not like is somebody coming from the outside. You always had somebody that's like an inner circle. That you try to come in and you try to fit in somehow or try to find just a friend. It doesn't matter if it's even a guy or even a girl. And you always have, I always would have a problem because, this person's new. Um, they're from a different place. We didn't grow up with them or something. And being in that position was really hard for me. I came from an area when I was real young where I had a lot of friends and even girls that were, I guess, I don't want to say girlfriends, but acquaintances at the time. And I'm talking about when I was young. And when we started, and then I started moving around, that's when it started happening. And I got to this point where I got real shy and I shut down. I didn't talk to anybody, not even a girl, not even like just friends. I just kind of was my own self. Then I tried to talk to the girls, and like I said, they kind of look at you like you're an alien because I didn't grow up with you. We didn't go to school together through the grades. You're an outsider. And if anybody's been in that position, you probably know what I'm talking about. You feel like you're an alien.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I started feeling a little bit more, try to get confidence. I try to kind of look at my friends, guy friends, and say, okay, what can I do to make myself better? Look myself better. I wasn't the most attractive person when I was young. Um, I had longer hair. I didn't really know what kind of clothes to wear. So I started asking some of my friends that had a lot of girlfriends, and they started giving me pointers. So I tried doing, and it helped a little bit as time went on.
Yeah, but it was
But yeah, it was fake.
um,
And then when I got into high school, it opened up more,
problems.
yeah, more problems. And I don't know. I had my share of girlfriends and stuff, and it just didn't. I don't know if you kind of look back and say, is it me that's causing the problem, or is it them causing the problem? I didn't know. Being young, you just don't know. And then I looked at some of the football people, and I'm like, how come they're getting all the girls? What am I doing
Because they're
wrong?
attractive.
Yeah, probably. And that was it. And then
Because they have power. They're on the hierarchy.
yeah. So I tried to be like them, and that didn't work very well.
You ain't lying. Like, I remember trying to dress nice. I remember trying to be super friendly. I remember trying to be distant, be cool. I remember trying to do sports, just everything I tried never really seemed to work because it wasn't really me. I was a poser. I tried being other people, and then I just tried being me, and that wasn't good enough. I was still made fun of. I was still called the teacher's pet. I was still, the loner. Uh,
I had situations where I had girls that I didn't really know go behind my back, talk to another girl, and try to pair a girl up with me.
as a joke.
It was kind of like a joke.
Well, that happened to me, but
And at first it was like, oh, really? You
it-
really like me and all that? I was just
no.
like, and then you see them giggling in the background.
No, it's because they think you're retarded.
Yeah. I was pissed off because I actually liked that girl. And I was like,
blonde,
cool.
was it?
No, it was different. It
Because
was
I thought you
actually,
said she was kind.
no, this actually happened in 6th, 7th grade.
Mine happened in it. But my point still stands that people thought I was a certain way. They didn't get to know me. They didn't try to. They just saw my looks. And maybe I didn't dress to their fashion or their style. So
Yeah.
they just thought the worst of me, and it was just always bullying, always being the loner, never really being accepted anywhere. Nobody ever really tried. I was lost. I had to find myself. So when these guys say they're forever alone or they're bitter or they're sad and they wish they could date, that doesn't mean they're incels or they want to wish violence on women. And if they do, there's maybe they're venting. You hear women do that double standard bullshit with men all the time. Of course, men or women should not say that, but that is what it is. Maybe they're frustrated and maybe they just need a vent. Doesn't mean they want to hurt people, and if they do, they should seek help. And I can't condone that. I don't condone anybody hurting anyone. But what I'm saying is, men need a place to vent to. Men need a place where they can talk about their issues too. And men don't have that space anymore. They don't have that control anymore like they used to. A lot of it is now considered sexist or misogynist or just any man just talking about issues, dealing with women. Oh, it's sexist, it's this, it's that. No more due process. Every man's guilty until proven innocent. It sucks to be a man sometimes. Yeah, men can be monsters, men can be scumbags, but men get treated like such shit. Nobody cares about men's mental health. Nobody cares that we're disposable. They only care when they have something to gain from it, when we can give something in return. If we didn't have anything and we're a no one, they don't care and they ignore you and they think you're ugly. But if you get rich as Bill Gates, they'll think you're the most powerful man in the fucking world, which is how shitty their brains actually fucking are. For a lot of them, not most. I'm not even gonna say most, just a lot of them. A lot of girls are like that. Not necessarily gold diggers, but their mind quickly changes when money comes into the situation. That dude could have been the most greatest, fucking most powerful guy ever. In like a mind, body, a spirit kind of way. She would have thought he was a fucking loser, a bum. But if he had money, especially more than her, she'd probably be more submissive, probably respect him more, and probably actually would want to settle down with him. The dating scene is very fucked up, and it reminds you that we are animals for a reason. You guys should actually listen to these doomer guys. They know how it is. Like if you're ugly or maybe even below average height or any enormity wrong with you, they will tell you that their failures of life. They tried to live life. People have treated them like shit. People tell them to kill themselves. People have no general regard for those that they perceive as weaker or uglier than them. They judge them very harshly, like the rich to the poor. These are some of the issues that those men face. Not only disappointing their family and friends with never marrying or even having any type of relationship of any sexual kind. They will never have kids. They'll never have a wife. They'll never have a wedding. They'll never experience love. They'll never experience traveling with the person that's closest to you. They'll never have kids of their own. They'll never have a deep connection with another person. And they'll always wonder what it's like. They are judged not by who they are, but what they look like and what they have. That's been the issue for men for a very long time. And if a man bitches about it, he's the problem. It's never the girl's fault. It's never the girl's issue. It's always the man's fault. It's always, oh, maybe if he did this, or maybe if he wasn't viewed a certain way, or maybe if he was this, or this. It's just a never-ending cycle. Any right men want to talk about, feminism has to come in and try to take over on it or try to get it shut down. I just don't get dating anymore. Back in the day, you just used to talk and that was it. It would either lead to a date or they would just tell you to fuck off. It's like, okay. Now there's so much superficialness, hookup, more STDs, more drugs, more sluttiness, more everything disgusting is tenfold, today than compared to even 10 years ago when I first started, using social media to date. I just don't understand this new wave dating style that they have. I just don't understand it. You want to say anything else?
No, I agree with you. I think things, were a lot different when I was younger, and things started changing. I think once we got into the
Probably
mid 2000s and then the social media stuff came in, and it kind of really changed a lot. That's when I noticed it. But before that, things were I think were a lot different.
They were
much easier than what it is now.
It was. That's not to mention that even though, a lot of guys, especially average guys, they struggle to find even an average woman, not a single mother with 3 different baby daddies and none of them are in the picture, or a fat land whale who's 500 pounds, but just an average chick. We're not talking about a supermodel or someone who's like fucking curvaceous. We're just mean someone who's relatively taking care of themselves, or at least trying to, and is not 300 pounds and like 5 feet tall. Call it shaming. I don't give a shit. Um, just it's hard to find. Women more and more nowadays are trying to go for the top 10% of men. Above 6 foot, six figures, has a nice everything. One you want to bring home to mother, the best of the best. Women are starting to have more and more high standards, and guys can't keep up. More and more guys are not dating anymore, and they're choosing not to because the egotism and the narcissism of women today. Their standards are too high. Instead of just wanting a loving relationship where the dude tries to be the best for her, he now already has to have that before he can earn her. And the reason why Western relationships are failing is because she is still the prize, not the guy, but her. And that's not something I can tolerate or give up my own time for. Girls aren't the prize, nor should they be. Guys need to stop simping for a girl's attention or trying to agree with her to get laid. It never works. It's annoying and it just makes you want to not date at all. It's just your hormones trying to get you into a relationship. But most of the time, you got to think about it like this: she can cheat on you and claim the child's yours during a marriage, and you'll have to pay for it, or you'll go to prison. A gang of cops comes to your house with a gun to your face.
Mm-hmm.
She can falsely accuse you of rape, domestic abuse, raping your child, or beating your child, and she doesn't have to have any proof, and she can get away with it. She can steal most of your money, especially if you're rich. Take your house, your possessions, your land, ancient artifacts your family once owned. She can make you pay spousal support for life. There's a lot of fucked up stories about divorces. You want to see a fucked up one? Just look at Robin Williams. He had to pay spousal support for life for two of his former wives. He was just a good guy. It's one of the reasons why I don't date anymore. I don't see the point. I just think a lot of women today are trash. A lot of them are arrogant, hoish, sluggish, don't act ladylike, don't seem too intelligent, are in their own fucking heads. It's all about TikTok or Snapchat, or they all want to be Cardis and Nickies. They no longer want to be Joan of Arcs or any other famous fucking girl. Assuming there's not too many of them. I said what I said.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The woman's purpose in this life, it seems on social media, is to capitalize the luck that she's been given. Because as a girl in society, not only are her feelings going to be cultivated, especially if she's crying, they're going to be endorsed for her to do so. Nobody will make fun of her. Nobody will be like, oh, you're weak, or you just got your ass beat by such and such, or oh, you're a little bitch. You stop acting like, a bitch. Men are only loved under the condition that they have something or can bring something to the table that a girl likes. If he can't, he's a loser, and he'll always be a loser in the society, apparently. I just can't stand this fucking society anymore. That's why I don't use really any of the social medias. They're all trash. Most of the people on my timeline are fucking trash. Always something stupid. Always something sexual, or just, it's no longer fun, man. It's just no longer fun to be online, period. You get bored and you just start telling the truth.
Mhm.
MGTOW is the way to go. If more men went their own way, less women would be cheating. Less women would be doing drugs. You'd have less domestic abuse. and you just have better laughs. I'm done.
Okay. I totally agree. And that's pretty much what we have for tonight. And so stay tuned to more videos in the near future. Thanks for listening.